Hey folks, this is Dr. Mike here, and I'm with my older brother, Cornell. You can probably see the resemblance. This is my big brother, and he has done so much for me in my life, and I'm here actually taking care of him. We grew up here outside of Washington, D.C. I'm at his home here in Fort Washington, Maryland. So this is my brother, Cornell Jones, and he is a basketball and football coach here in the Washington, D.C. area. You guys have heard me probably talk about him with his hip replacement a few years ago. Well, now he's had a knee replacement. And Corn, bring your knee over here.
Sure.
And so he had this thing on. Now, when did you have this guy done?
9 days ago, last Tuesday.
All right. So now you see he has on a compression sleeve here, and we'll have him walk around in a few moments. And I'm going to just ask him to pull that down. So he had this done 9 days ago, and you can see the surgical incision and scar there. Now, when he actually had this done 9 days ago, obviously it was a lot more swollen than it is now. So he still has significant swelling. You've been to how many physical therapy appointments?
I've been to two.
Two physical therapy appointments, and you got 3 scheduled or 2 scheduled for next week?
Actually, 1 scheduled for next week. The following week I have 3.
You have 2, okay. So now, here's the deal. He had his surgery done. He comes home from the hospital 2 days later. Then he gets into outpatient physical therapy. Now, I've been doing a little bit of work with him, but I wanted him to see the therapist so that they could use the electric stim and ice and all the other things and evaluate him. But he's doing pretty good. Now, he is, as I said, is a basketball coach. You've been back to practice.
Yes.
Not active in practice,
Right.
but he's back to practice.
Right.
He's now walking with a straight cane, but here in the house he walks with no cane at all. So that means he's fully weight bearing. When he came home from the hospital, you were on a walker.
I was on a walker, yeah.
And how did you do with the walker?
Did fine with the walker, and I guess I was on the only walker for only 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
When I went to therapy, the therapist said, "You're looking pretty good," and he suggested that, why don't you switch to a cane?
All right. Now, you've had a hip replacement.
Yes.
And a knee replacement, all as a result of what?
Just wear and tear, playing ball when I was younger, and I guess just the aging process.
Yeah. So this is something you're going to see on an ongoing basis. Eventually, I've got an ACL deficient knee. I'll need to have mine replaced. But the reason I bring this up is because we're going to see more and more of these over the next 20 years. I guarantee you. The baby boomers are now getting to the point where we still want to do in our 50s and 60s what we did in our 40s. And my brother is now an avid golfer. He actually probably can hit the ball better than me now at this point. But I know you still want to get out and golf.
Yes, if I possibly can. I like to get out and walk. I have a stationary bike, so it's still things I like to continue to do if possible.
Yeah. Now, as I said, he's still a basketball coach. Basketball season has just started. The timetable is you guys aren't playing right now because of COVID, but you're practicing.
Correct.
So the season will start in what, January, February?
Hopefully late January.
Or January. Okay. So now when that starts, we want to see him able to go back out and coach again and do everything that he normally does. So to say this, at some point physical therapy will end. Now I'm not advocating for our medical exercise specialists or post-rehab conditioning specialists to try to take the place of the therapist. But what you will start to see is at some point he'll be discharged. He'll be transitioned to a medical exercise facility because even once physical therapy is done, I would say probably within the next 2 to 3 weeks, he's not going to be quite 100% ready to go back and practice and stand up for 2 or 3 hours. That's going to require more exercise, a continuation of the exercise program, and that's where we kind of bridge that gap between healthcare and fitness. So you can see here that his surgical incision looks good. He's still swollen. He's still going to continue with physical therapy. After therapy, as I said, 2 to 3 weeks from now, this is where you now come in as the medical exercise professional. And prior to his surgery, he was also doing ongoing exercise to strengthen him for this. So total joint replacements will become a big area for all of our medical exercise professionals over the next 20 years. And as I said, he just underwent the knee replacement. Which hip did you have replaced?
This one.
Yeah, and at this point with the hip, you wouldn't know which hip was replaced. In a few weeks or several weeks, we'll get to the point where the knee will be the same way. But there will need to be that transition level of exercise after physical therapy is over. So hold tight. I'm going to let him walk here a few moments. I'm going to show you a couple of exercises he's doing on his own at home. And you'll just kind of get an idea of what a total knee replacement looks like in the early stages. You can go ahead and pull that up. Yeah. And we're going to stop the camera and give us give us just a few moments. I'll let him take a couple of steps walking for